welcome to the Money Machine Podcast. It's Clash of the Podcast, hosted by your boy, Conrad Cushman of Everything Pro Wrestling, my tag team partner, Sean Hubbard of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Always got the flyest gear in the game. You may have to ask him where he copped that, but we are excited to bring you Clash of the Podcast. This episode is episode 34, y'all, titled Draft Day. We are going to be talking about the WWE Draft today. We're going to even be putting in some work about this Backlash card. What is it? What's going on? Big changes happening behind the scenes with Monday Night Raw, as I just looked at as we speak, and it doesn't sound like they're good. You know what that means.
Oh, boy.
You know what that means when it comes to us. And we're going to start things off with a little boxing talk for you fine folks. So sit back, get yourself a nice drink, and get strapped in for one of the best wrestling podcasts in the game. What is good, Sean? What is good?
My brother, what a weekend, man. We got a lot of stuff going on, man, and it's always good to start the week out like this, man. I'm really happy to be with you, my brother. How was your weekend, I should say?
It was there. Lots of basketball. Lots and lots of basketball. Knicks can't front. I can't front. They've been balling. They've been balling. Shout out to the Timberwolves, big dub yesterday. I know it's over on Tuesday, but I'm going to take that.
They extended it. They showed some heart.
Yeah, they had to show some heart. I was going to get mad if they lost that game yesterday. I was losing it, man. How about you? Any big combat sport things happen this weekend? I can't think of any.
Oh, my God. Just some wild stuff out in Vegas, man. Big shout out to you for making an opportunity for me to talk about this fight. Yo, it did not disappoint, man. It did not disappoint. Gervonta Tank Davis, widely regarded as one of the top 3 or 4 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, going up against a young up-and-coming hungry lion, King Ryan Garcia, and the King got slayed. I predicted it would be a 9th-round knockout. It happened 2 rounds earlier. Wow. I mean, for me, it was just one of those fights that, you're happy that it lived up to the hype. You know what I'm trying to say? It's one of those things where you just finally got a fight that was built as a fight of the year and it actually delivered. Garcia, credit to him, man. He came out swinging, man. He was going for the knockout. He was trying to show the world who he was. He just got a little bit too loosey-goosey.
Well, you know what happens when you get loose sometimes. But, I don't know if you saw my prediction for the fight. I put down that it would go to decision. I gave him a little bit more than I thought I should have. I should have listened to you. But then when I saw it happen in the 7th, I was like, Sean was closer than me, but I don't think we were expecting it that early.
It was just one of those things that I was just happy that it went down the way it went down, where it was a really good fight. Like I said, King Ryan Garcia showed the world that he's legitimate. I think he's going to go up to 140. As he said, he's going to go up and win a belt. I think he doesn't want any more of Tank Davis, and rightfully so, at 135, or this catch weight of 136. And it was a great fight. The fight ended, however, on a left hook to the ribs. And I want you guys to do your homework. Everybody in the chat, do your homework. Look up 18 years ago, Oscar De La Hoya, who is King Ryan Garcia's promoter, he lost a fight the exact same way. Liver shot, delayed reaction, take a knee, ball game. And 18 and a half years later, history repeats itself. So on the horizon, you got Shakur, you have Devin Haney. This is for Tank Davis. And looks like Ryan Garcia is going up to 140. The bottom line is it did not disappoint. And boxing's in a good place right now. We'll see what happens next.
All of Sean's stuff is in the description. He did a wonderful preview on his website, hubbardwrestlingweekly.com. Make sure you guys go there and check out his preview. Sean's always got good stuff coming up, whether it's UFC, wrestling, boxing. He has some discussion points on there. So check out his website. Give it a good look. Add it to your favorites is what I would recommend. YouTube channel also down below for him. Make sure you guys check out Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Big boxing week, man. And I see people in the chat are putting their thoughts in here. We're going to get to you guys in 1 second. Sean, one last question about this boxing thing.
Let's do it.
What are your thoughts about the rat? Someone said there was excuse me, bad wording. The mole. There was a mole in the camp. Or is that just a front?
I think it was a little bit of hyperbole. You know what I'm trying to say? I think Ellerby is a really good promoter. I think he learned a lot from Floyd Mayweather. And I think that putting the bug in someone's ear, the fly in someone's proverbial ointment of saying that there is a mole in the other person's camp is a nice way to get people a little bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So I think mission accomplished. Do I think it was true? No, but I think it's excellent gamesmanship on the behalf of Team Tank.
For sure. Welcome, everybody. If you're getting in here, leave us a comment. Show us some love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you will. And we're going to get into some of this draft stuff. Doug, first one in here with, I'm walking here. You know how many times I had to see that in the comment section last week. I'm walking here.
Unbelievable.
Brett will never be the same on this show. Note to Sean, Raquel will stop smiling when Moxley stops bleeding or making people bleed. The end isn't in sight. Almost glad it's Saturday on Rampage, but then a backstage segment ruined it. Yeah, we almost had no blood, and then Daniels had to bleed in the locker room.
You know what? Very sound assessment on your part, bro. I like it.
Quill's in the house. He said, what up, Conrad Sean in the chat? Here we go once again. Best part of my Monday evening. It's time for another episode of Clash of the Podcast. Let's get it. Appreciate you, Quills. BJ, hey, hope y'all are having a great Monday evening. I'll be in and out a bit starting this, but I just wanted to say I'm walking here. The OG BJ who came up with that. What's Bret Hart doing with his hair? Joel also in the chat. What is good, Joel?
What up, Joel?
Gomar just says hello. Hello. I don't know why I wanted to read that like Lionel Richie.
Hello. I love it. We're feeling good tonight, Conrad. We're feeling good.
We are. We're singing. We're happy. Matt Lopez says good evening. Matt's usually one of the top ones. Matt got people were beating Matt to the keyboard tonight.
Yes.
Positively, E says you. What's good, E? McKinney, he said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling and let y'all know I kissed a girl and I liked it. Let's go.
I like that.
Oh, man. People were curious on your take. We had to get that one right out of the way.
Man. I'll tell you one thing, though. Look for another big-time thing going on this weekend. Fight TV, BKFC 41. What does BKFC stand for? Anybody doesn't know? Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. For anybody who's a little bit more gruesome with their appreciation of combat sports, I'm telling you, I'll go skeptical, but shout out to Fight TV, shout out to BKFC. It's pretty entertaining, and it's a lot of WWE style entrances. They're doing it just like UFC, man. Let's keep the energy going.
And listen, they can block in this one, y'all. This ain't no slap fight.
Right.
All right?
Now, look, the slap fight thing I cannot get with. I'm not no shade, but
you just can't. You can't have that going on. Eric says, hey, everybody. Rodgers got traded. I don't even want to talk about it. What? There are so many bad divisions in the NFL, and why do people have to come to mine? Tom Brady. Do you understand the struggles that we have to deal with in the AFC East? Can we have something? Can Buffalo just have something? You just can't.
In a land far, far away called the NFC East, my Giants play in a terrible division, even though they got the Eagles. So we don't have to deal with stuff like this. It seems like you Bills, but you know something? It looks like your window may be closing because all of a sudden they're saying the Jets. I'm not a Jet fan, so I can speak objectively. I'm a Giant fan. They're saying the Jets might have just found the missing piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They were calling him CM Punk last year, though, when he was sitting up with the fans.
That's true.
We'll see. We'll see what he does. Still Bills fan all day. All I know is we better not be 11-5 and not making the playoffs because of this garbage. I hate that. And then I see 5-9 teams like number one right now. Yeah, that's great. Haven't seen a liver shot since Roy Jones Jr. Eee.
Yo, McKinney, check out, like I said, 18 and a half years ago, De La Hoya versus B-Hop. Oh, my God. ML, I love it, baby. Let's go.
As long as y'all ain't talking like the Knicks fans on the street, that is the funniest thing after the Knicks win. You don't want none of this, y'all. You come to New York, get your head cracked on these courts.
I don't know about all that. I just think we should be happy winning the series. God willing, we win.
Look at Kevin Durant. Don't you wish you came to the Knicks? Kevin Durant and them are in the series. Yo, Westbrook, all those people waiting on Westbrook, he's been balling. Someone said get out of the North, Aaron Rodgers. He's not going away, man. Garcia was ran over by a tank. That's foul. Matt. XG Dub says, yo, what's good, family? Appreciate y'all. I picked Davis by stoppage. I don't know why anyone would have thought Ryan would win. Davis is far superior.
Because he's taller and because he has a longer reach. But that does not, there's a young man by the name of Mike Tyson who overcame longer reaches his whole career. So
yeah, if you're built for it, you're built for it. Mike was different though, man.
He was.
He's a southpaw. He has power. His speed is absolutely insane. Ryan got reckless with his right.
He was getting loosey-goosey. And Tank was like, slow your roll, kid.
Davis had way more power and had better timing.
Agreed.
This ain't a TikTok video. This is an actual fight. I completely missed the body shot. That's how fast Tank is. Yep, Garcia moving up to 40. The 35 division is loaded.
Yes, sir.
I
predict that Garcia will move up to 140 and become a world champion. That's how good I think he is. He's just not as good as Tank.
Trying to get it here. Rob says Bass Rutten has liver shot. Ooh. Oscar and B-Hop, yes.
Yes, sir.
Can we be friends after the fight? No. No. Sean is amazing for your combat sports analysis.
Thank you.
Yes, people are loving it.
Sure.
Sounds like the girl on NXT passing out like HBK. See what I'm talking about with the Shawn Michaels slander.
Oh,
you just can't have
it right positively. You can't do that. Oh my God.
What's the mole? The liver. Do got a mono.
Wow. Yo, eating rough, bro.
That's that New York in them. The Pro Wrestling Shoe says, yo, what's good? I'm walking here.
For God's sake, I'm walking here.
He said, I'm working here.
Hey.
Quit crying about blood. It's effing wrestling. Let's see here. Sick with it. What's good, Sick? He's on Twitch, man.
A lot of people in the building tonight. I'm loving this energy right now.
For real. Nothing more vicious than watching two people shaped like the letter T slapping the shiznit out of each other.
You're talking about slap fighting? Oh, God.
Yeah, bare knuckle over slap fighting. Yeah, as long as you can cover yourself, that's all I care about. Nothing is more vicious than watching two people. Oh, I just read that one. Ain't nobody worried about Rodgers and the Jets out here. All right, Rob.
I don't know.
Someone said Jets winning the Super Bowl. I forgot.
Take it easy.
39-year-old shroom head is nothing to sweat. B-Boy Skyline in the house. He said, I hate the Jets and Cyclops. Worst X-Men ever. Don't do that to Cyclops now. Cyclops always did what he was supposed to do for the X-Men. That you talking that wild stuff. Wolverine gets to just disregard anything and do whatever he wants, and he's the bad guy. He's the good guy, you know? Oh, we need you to save us. Cyclops is right here, bro. He said, I'm listen, I'll do the classes. I'll teach. Oh. Nope, we need Wolverine. Don't you dare. Don't you. We're going to ignore that. Yo, I just saw a picture of Mike Tyson as a 15-year-old and couldn't differentiate the difference between the adult version. Yo, would y'all fight a 50-year-old? I'm not fighting Mike Tyson, period.
Mike Tyson if he was 10.
Yeah, dude, do you know people? I know people who think they can take some people sometimes. I'm like, bro, if I have money, I'm not putting money on you, bro. I just want to let you know you're my guy, but I'm collecting.
And for anybody who might have some silly thought about fighting Mike Tyson now that he's in his 50s, I think twice about that too.
Jocelyn said, Indy don't have a say in this chat. Sigh. You'll get there. Everybody goes up, then they go down. Why Rob talking like it's San Andreas rider? Shroom head. They better not do Cyclops dirty in the X-Men 97 series. I'm looking forward to that, actually. That's coming out. But listen.
Oh, baby, let's get it.
On our Drake-ish right now, we're going to be talking that draft day, that Howie Manziel. What do you think, Sean? We got the big draft coming up here. That's our background for tonight. Big news coming up here tonight on Raw, supposedly from The Game. Yo, by the way, random thought. Sean came on in my car with his voice like 15 times this week because it'll play like the next podcast and my podcast is in the loop. And I heard Sean. He scared me the one day. I had my phone. I didn't have anything on for a little bit. I was just driving, and then I got in the car. I'm like, oh, let me listen to something. Turned my phone up a little bit, and then all of a sudden I just heard Sean go, "That's The Game." That's all I heard this week. I was like, yo, what's wrong? What's up with this dude?
Oh my God.
The Game.
The Game.
Well, the draft. Is it a big deal to you? I mean, like, what do you want to talk about?
No, it's nothing. They don't adhere to the rules anyway. It's pathetic. The only reason I'm excited about talking about it is because I'm talking about it with you and the people in the chat. We're gonna have fun. The draft is gonna be a dud, just like WWE is a dud. WWE is trash. TRASH, trash, and the draft is gonna be number 1 pick, Roman Reigns. Whatever.
Well, we could have done a draft, and me and Sean decided against it. You know why? Because it would have been boring.
Yeah.
We would have known who the next pick was every time. Every time. B-Boy said they better not break up the New Day again. I don't see that happening. 2/3 of the New Day are out.
Yeah, they're broken up as we speak, kind of.
Yeah. People agree with you about Mike Tyson. Woo. Sean, do a I'm walking here as Triple H.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I think Josh will quote you in the chat. Hubbard, WWE is trash.
It is, man. It is.
I don't care where anyone lands. I just need the mid-card and tag belts to float between the shows. Other than that, we've seen enough drafts to know what's coming.
McKinney, that's a good idea. You know what that means.
Rene Dupree is the number 1 pick.
I was thinking about this all week. No. We're going to get into this right here and now. Rene Dupree was not the number 1 pick of the draft.
Time out. Somebody wrote a show.
Lottery.
No. Somebody wrote a show, Sean, that was supposed to get us excited, and you had the number 1 person get stunnered. Why would you do that?
But it's not the same. Okay, The Rock was the number 1 pick in the initial 2002 draft. He didn't
get stunnered either.
He was the number 1 pick. Rene Dupree was not the number 1 pick of the 2000 whatever draft. He was picked out of a lottery tank. It was totally random. Obviously, wrestling's not random. I'm talking about according to the storyline.
That's my beef.
Right. According to the storyline, let me finish. According to the storyline, it was a random situation, just like picking your number for the fictitious picking your number for the Royal Rumble. Rene Dupree wasn't the number 1 pick of the draft. He was the first person somebody stuck their hand in and pulled out one of those little lottery balls, and he was number. So stop giving that narrative that he was the number 1 pick in the draft. He wasn't.
Somebody wrote this, and I'm very.
Conrad, I'm not going to let you. Conrad, stop. Rene Dupree was not the number 1 pick in the draft.
Whoever wrote that show that night, done with me. Why would you do that to that young man? They wanted him done from the word go. I liked Rene Dupree. I'll put that out there.
I'm not going to let you change the subject here. You have to answer the question. You have to amend your statement. Rene Dupree.
It was a lottery.
Thank you. It wasn't.
Somebody wrote this, y'all. It was written by someone. They thought that was a good idea. And you know what that means if they think it's a good idea? Probably ain't.
Good point. Let's move on. You're right.
Let's talk about where some people could land. I have a bunch of images here for us to try to get into and talk about it. Obviously, the number 1.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's the man. What are they going to do with this? Because I think a lot of people are assuming tonight Triple H's big announcement is concerning the championships.
That would be a good idea, and I'm being real with you. That would be a good idea. I just don't think that's what's going to happen. I would love for it to be where Roman Reigns is going to be the undisputed champion of whatever show he gets drafted to, and the other show would have a new title. But WWE doesn't do the right thing. We know that.
I don't know if you can do that though, because then it doesn't downgrade whoever finally beats. Well, I guess it doesn't.
No, it doesn't downgrade. Now, I'll tell you what it does downgrade, and actually rightfully so. Now take this ride with me, Conrad. You make him the Universal Champion exclusively on Raw or SmackDown, and you make another champion on whatever show he's not drafted to. That would automatically make that the second tier world title, right? But that's fine. That's fine. That means that Roman Reigns is still the man. And then you'd have a world champion that's not really as prolific on the other show. No problem. Roman Reigns should always be the man until he gets beat. And he would still be the man. I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is that he's probably going to go, 9 times out of 10, he's going to stay on SmackDown anyway. This whole rumor that he's going to be drafted to Raw, probably not. Probably not.
I think he stays put. I think the bloodline stays put in this whole thing. Truthfully, I really feel like you're just going to invert all the mid-card people. I think all the lower-card people get inverted, and then you got to find some new people for Raw guys to make happy. It's a simple thing.
Yeah.
Quill said the draft has become a farce when Cena got drafted twice from Raw to SmackDown and back to Raw in the same night. What are we doing here?
Good point. I remember that atrocity.
There was a lot of farces with these drafts, is my point to what I said before.
Yeah,
the unified belts need to be ununified. How do you feel about the two belts, bro? Have we talked about this in depth?
We have not.
I hate it personally. I don't think there should ever be two world. There can't be two best. You can't have Harley Race and Ric Flair the world champions. No. There is one best because you will always be compared to the other person. Always.
So you're actually against my theory of having two world champions.
If I was in the position of power, the POP as I like to call it, I would say, nah, I don't like that.
I love it because we need it, bro. We need it. We need it for nights just like Backlash, right? We need a quote unquote de facto, default, whatever word you want to use, world championship on the line at every single pay-per-view. It's unacceptable to have a PLE or pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, have no world championship match on the card. It's unacceptable. Like I said, wherever Roman Reigns goes, he'll still be the man. And yes, Roman Reigns should be a special attraction. I have no problem with that. But you can't continue this path of like no world title on a pay-per-view. It's unacceptable, bro. And the only way... Now, dream scenario, Roman Reigns is at every pay-per-view, but we know that's not going to happen, right? So what we have to do is we have to make an adjustment. Have another world champion. That's my logic, bro.
I see why to do it from you want to keep everyone happy standpoint. But what I don't like is that you're always compared. When the world heavyweight championship is opening up WrestleMania, what does that tell you about that belt? When you win the Rumble and you decide to challenge for that belt, hey, Undertaker, Batista at WrestleMania 23, and then that match is in the middle of the show, what does that tell you about that belt?
Agreed.
So you're always going to be putting yourself in a position of you're still telling someone you're less than. So what was the point of doing it?
You don't have that problem anymore, Conrad. You know why? Because there's 2 nights of WrestleMania.
You hope, but then you get into the problem of the women have 2 belts, and then they're like, "Well, we should main event one of the night." It's an endless mess, in my opinion.
Right.
Combine his doo-doo will substitute for belts and bring back the big gold belt. A lot of people are saying bring back big gold. I love big gold. I like the WCW version even better.
The greatest world championship ever, the big gold belt.
You heard it. You heard it from the man. He said. Over the Winged Eagle to you?
I like the Winged Eagle a lot, but there's nothing in my... See, the issue with the big gold belt, it screams to me prestige. Mm-hmm. That looks like that's the cream of the crop. That looks like a world championship belt. You know what I'm saying? The Winged Eagle was a cool title. It was always very historically significant to me. But to me, you saw that world title in WCW and you were like, wow, that thing is beautiful.
Shout out to Rob in the chat. Y'all remember when Triple H refused to work SmackDown? The only reason you were champion for 9 months is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
You know, another thing, real quick, we're gonna gloss over this real quick. Triple H, Paul Levesque, what a jerk sometimes, bro. Like, I mean, God bless him. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he's trying to take his job, but like, think about some of the stuff he's done in his career. What a dirtbag in some situations.
You look to the click.
Wow.
Listen, he was always in that room, always getting safe since '97. They said,
Yeah,
who's getting drafted to shotgun Saturday night? Terrible. I miss the days when SmackDown and Raw were actually treated like two separate shows going up against each other, like Paul Heyman and Stephanie were running the shows. One show had the WWE Championship and the other had Big Gold, and the two shows only faced off against each other maybe 2-3 times a year at best. Yeah. If both shows want a world champ, Roman has to lose the other. That makes it whoever wins the new belt look weak because they didn't beat Roman. Trying to get him to 1K days is putting them in a box. Listen, you got a lot of tough stuff coming up here. Let's go to the next person, Sean.
Oh God.
Adrenaline's in my soul.
Mid-card, Cody Rhodes.
Send all your hate to @Hub_wrestling on Twitter.
Tell me I'm lying. He's fighting Brock Lesnar in the main event because there is no main event because Roman Reigns is not on the show. Cody Rhodes is mid-card for life, bro.
Maybe this will be for the new title they're going to come up with.
You know what? Actually, you may have stumbled on something because that might be the announcement. But you know what? That would be a good idea. You know what that means.
But if Cody wins that belt, then I'm back to, well, who's beating Roman?
Nobody.
Yeah.
I think we all need to get in our minds. See, this is the problem that we have. Me included. Me, you, Quills, McKinney, Sick With It, ML, everybody, okay? Stop thinking that Roman Reigns is going to lose. He's not. Roman Reigns is not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Get it through. That's the reason we need another world champion. Because Roman Reigns is going, Conrad, look at me. Look at me, Conrad. He's not going anywhere, brother. He's not. It's not ending anytime. It's not even ending at 1,000 days. It's going to keep rolling. Will he make it to Bruno Sammartino? No. He may not even make it to Hogan. But with this whole idea that's going to be over by SummerSlam, no, it's not. Stop it. It's not.
If you smell.
Oh, even get me started with that crap. Yeah.
Matt Lopez says send Cody to SmackDown. What are you doing?
I'm cool with him going to SmackDown. He might need a fresh coat of paint over it on the blue.
I think he stays away. You keep him and Roman separated. Because if you ever need a money match again, that's who you're going back to. So keep them away from each other. It depends on if you're introducing the second belt tonight. Like that's a very important thing that they need to figure out. And maybe it's going to be at that Night of Champions show where they crown a new champion. I mean, it fits the name. Maybe that's why they changed it from King of the Ring.
That's what I hate about you. And there's not a lot of matter of fact, I don't hate you at all, Conrad. But there's one thing I hate about you. It's like you plant seeds. I was convinced that this announcement tonight was going to be a complete dud. Now I'm actually low-key getting a little bit excited that they might announce a new belt. But they're not. You know why? Because that would be a good idea. And you know what that means. I hope that's what happens. Do you actually think that's what's going to happen?
I don't. Well, I have fears. I didn't report to you what I just read right before when we were starting. Yeah. I sent a tweet out, and I actually the first thing I saw that popped up to the top of my feed scared me from. I think it was PW Insider was who I saw credited with. Vince McMahon is backstage and making changes to the script as we speak. You better learn to speak Joe Rogan, pal. Like, I don't know what else to say. Wow. Like, so I don't know if that's going to change what Triple H was going to say, but I was getting excited for it, though, right before that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The chairman of the board,
dead.
And like the whole crowd, well, the stupid fans are going to cheer for him. I wouldn't cheer for him.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah. Brock Lesnar. I think Brock stays on Raw. Once again, another person. He can't challenge Roman anymore. Keep him away.
Yeah, staying on Raw makes the most sense. For no other reason other than what you said, him and Roman remaining separate makes the most sense. And we all think that Roman's going to stay on SmackDown. So, yeah.
Yes. I am looking. I am afraid of what this is. Getting some breaking news as we speak. I fear what this is. Wait, what? This better be a joke.
What do you got?
This better be a joke. From Wrestle Ops, former WWE and current AEW star CM Punk was backstage for a bit at WWE's Raw taping in Chicago. There is no word on who Punk was there visiting, but we have heard from several WWE sources that he did briefly see Paul Levesque.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's Chicago. That's his home.
Right. Punk also spoke to several other WWE talents, but was eventually asked to exit the arena. We were told it was a Vince McMahon call that he leave the venue when he was asked. I don't know if I believe this. This is weird.
It sounds like Vince being a hater. That makes sense.
Or
people in his hometown. So.
Or people trying to drum up some excitement for something that's not there.
That sounds more logical.
It could be that as well. Curious though. Curious to see what's happening with this.
What I implore you to do, Conrad, and what I employ everybody in the chat to do is to, whenever you get excited about a WWE rumor, just remember it's WWE. If you remember that
we were entertainment.
if you just remember, that was good. That was really good. If you just remember, there's a rumor that Randy Orton will be back, or there's a rumor that, Sasha Banks is coming to CM Punk's backstage. Just remember, this is the same organization that gave us Seth Rollins versus Omos. This is the same organization that had Brock turn on Cody for no reason and had the same storyline from 2012 with John Cena. This is the same organization that had Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt end in a no contest in a Hell in a Cell when there's not supposed to be any disqualifications. Just remember, it's WWE. That's all. Bring yourself down. Don't allow yourself. I'm talking to myself too. Maybe Triple H is going to bring out another world title. Sean, I'm talking to myself here. Conrad, I'm talking to myself. Sean, this is not another organization. This is WWE. They always screw it up. All Triple H is going to say is, welcome to Monday Night Raw, and reintroduce Stephanie or some crap.
Oh my goodness. And I see people, Vince making changes to the script. Thanks for telling me that. I'm going to get 3 extra hours of sleep tonight.
Wow, I love it.
Only belt they're announcing is the new paralegal. Whoa! You're going to get me in trouble. Roman Reigns is the Brady Belichick of the New England Patriots of the WWE. Predictable, boring, and a foregone conclusion that he is going to win. And in this case, the bloodline is Spygate, Deflategate. I'm annoyed. Matt Lopez yelled, "Don't read it, WTF," and PW Insider back up the Punk story. Listen, I want you guys to know this. Now that AEW's in town, people are going to be looking for leverage. Don't forget when Randy Orton was tweeting things like little words like elite, look it, tweet. You know why? Because he wanted more ducats. He wanted that bread.
Check out Quill's comment.
This is the same organization that had Jinder Mahal as your world champion. Need I say more?
Wells couldn't have said it better. Everybody, just keep your thoughts of grandeur down. It's not gonna. WWE's always gonna find a way to screw it up, bro.
Jocelyn hits the nail on the head here too. Anything to get people to watch Raw. There is nothing exciting about this product at this moment.
There's a rumor that The Rock arrived in the park, at the airport in the same city Monday Night Raw is in. He's not going to Raw. He's not. He's right. Not.
He's filming a movie.
I'm walking here.
You know what? A name I didn't put down that I do want to talk about. Bray Wyatt. He's been out with injury. Come on now. Come on. I'm trying. Listen, I am this close to having this man Dolph Ziggler status with me. Where I don't care what you do. You can put him on the screen as much as you want. I don't believe. But I'm trying to keep the faith here, Sean.
Okay.
Bray Wyatt. What do you do with him? I feel like you can do whatever. You have a clean slate. What would you do with him? He says, I'm ready to come back, Sean. What do you do? Where do you put him?
After the single most botched return probably in history, I don't know. And I mean that genuinely. I have no idea. I mean, the Uncle Howdy thing has been so long, we don't even care.
Should he be worried if his name is on the cut list?
Yes. Yes. Okay. He should be. Yes. And it wouldn't be his fault. It would not be his fault. And if I were Bray Rotundo, I would and they released him, I would say, you know what? It's WWE's fault that I've been released because they screwed up my whole career.
Oh, you're saying he should just finally come out and just say that then?
Yes. Yes. The way they botched that Uncle Howdy thing is unacceptable and reprehensible, Conrad.
I'm not mad.
A Mountain Dew glow in the dark match at Royal Rumble? Are you kidding me?
Why is Rob in here? Go away. Rob is the reason I hate Dolph Ziggler, for the record. For those who don't know, he ruined him one night for me in Buffalo at a I think it was like the second ever SmackDown live taping. Jinder Mahal first pick. Y'all better get true story. I walked out of someone's house after that pay-per-view. I said, if Jinder Mahal wins this title, I will leave this house. I will put on my shoes and I will say, thank you. I appreciate the hospitality tonight and I am leaving. And the dude was surprised. All I had to hear was the Colossus. And I saw the 3 hit the mat. I got up, Sean. I'm not joking. I slipped right into my shoes. And I said, thank you. It was a lovely evening. I appreciate you having me. We'll talk again Monday. Wow. And I remember walking out. And he was like, yo, he really left. And to this day, he still laughs about that. I was like, yo, this dude is horrible. Somebody said lowered expectations. Thanks a lot, Sean. Kevin Owens publicly used AEW for a contract too, like Orton. Yeah, everybody's gonna do this now. Everybody, if you want more money, that's what you're. What's Dwayne Johnson? See, your first mistake was you gave him his real name. That's not what would be The Rock's Impact name? They'd have to come up with something better. Oh,
Boulder Maivia.
Boulder Maivia is in the Impact Zone. Boulder Bottom.
That's great.
Quill's using the me and Derek line. Bad booking. Bad booking.
Shout out to Derek, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Derek. I think he's doing some softball coaching right now. Why did CM Punk? See, I don't know why Punk is there. I couldn't tell you.
Because it's in Chicago.
Rob said the sentiment.
Ooh, I like that.
You had to pass Earth Science to get that one. That was bad. Let's see. Doug said have him, Howdy, and Bliss all return and get the ball rolling. LA Knight took Bray Wyatt's spot because he's getting over organically. The fans want more of LA Knight. That is over Bray Wyatt. Yeah. I really want them to push LA Knight. I think he would be the bee's knees if you gave him the chance. Now, next up, I got Bianca Belair here for us, Sean.
I love her so much, bro. Respectfully, I love her.
Are you going to have her and the next person I have here trade belts? Maybe they should do a handoff of the championships to each other.
Yes, sir. It's time for the switcheroo.
I don't think you switch them. I think what you do is you put the Judgment Day on SmackDown with Ray, because Ray's already over there. Put Judgment Day over there with him. And then Bianca, are they going to unify this belt? Do you do that since you did it with Roman?
Nah. I think we're on different sides of the fence on this one, bro. I want them to continue to keep the titles separate.
Yeah.
Only title I want them to bring together is one of the tag team belts.
Oh no, that is a must. There's not enough tag teams. Truthfully, there's some paperweights that I would throw in the dumpster personally.
I hear that.
We're going to start booking tag teams, but we'll get to that in a second because I have an idea to try to save that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I got some people who are in the back of milk cartons right now in this.
Yeah,
phenomenal AJ Styles. It was no mistake that I put that on the IG story for us. I put that on purpose.
Yeah, no doubt.
AJ, what's can we use AJ right, bro? No more Omos in a tag team. Like, I feel like AJ Styles the last couple of years have been severely underutilized. Severely.
it's a crime how they use AJ Styles. The only question is, what do you do with him now? Like,
if you need Roman to beat someone, AJ I think would be a good person to consider.
yeah, that's true. I mean, he would make a heck of a match, that's for sure. And that's what you need right now. You need legitimate stuff. They're talking about rumors of Shinsuke versus Roman coming up next. So,
I am a big Nakamura fan. I would be down with that. Matt Lofa said, I would laugh if Triple H's announcement is a new Saturday show.
wow.
Collide with this. Don't give him any ideas. Don't do it. The Boulder feels like a conflicted about fighting a young what? Belief sounds belong to me. You're scared, Boulder. Y'all better stop. Leave The Rock alone. I know Vince had special shoes made just for the sole purposes of kicking Punk out of that arena. He grew that mustache for that reason alone. Send Charlotte to Raw to face Bianca. Yo, I don't understand how Charlotte's on vacation again.
It's ridiculous how much time she has off. It's ridiculous.
Is she part-time at this point? Like, that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like, exactly.
Bianca stays on Raw. Rhea goes to SmackDown respectfully because of their titles. We should definitely talk about Bianca holding the belt for more than a year. They could. I feel like the fans are going to poo-poo on that, though, immediately. I feel like they're kind of there.
And I love Bianca, but even I, who was Bianca's number one fan, Conrad, you know that. It's like, oh, man. Like, when she beat Asuka, I was like, ooh, okay. Like,
yeah, that was rough. AJ Styles, I miss him. I need a main event. AJ Styles, have him challenge Roman. He agrees. AJ versus Gunther would be fire. I think that would be a good match too. If there's a hard split the belts. If there's not a split and a soft split, then unify them. All depends on how you have it set up.
I hear you.
Shotgun Saturday Night is back.
And Heat too.
Oh, here you go. Now you're just feeding the fire. I'd watch just to hear AJ say, beat up Roman Reigns. Beat up John Cena. All right.
The announcement's going to be they're bringing back Velocity.
I need you to not get upset with the next thing I'm going to put up.
Oh, God.
Can you promise me that?
It depends.
Do you know who it is already?
I have a feeling, yes.
You need a friend? Get a dog. It's your boy, Bron Breakker. Now, Bron Breakker's turned heel. They've got him getting ready to face Andre Chase at Spring Breakin'. What do you do with him? This is your chance to get your mid-card straight, I think. Add some new faces into this. Listen, we know where people like Dolph Ziggler and them stand at this point. They're lower card guys putting people over.
Bron Breakker is awful.
Just say what show you'd put him on.
I would put him on. I would put him on WCW Saturday Night. That's the show I put him on. Okay, I put him on WCW Saturday Night. Okay, that's the show I put him on because Bron Breakker makes me sick. Bron Breakker to me is worse than Braun Strowman.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
I mean, you talk about one-dimensional. He's a freaking goofball moron. I can't stand him. I mean, you talk about uncharismatic, non-charismatic. He's terrible. I don't know what you see in him.
I hope that there's something there. I don't know. I want there to be something there. They were trying to telegraph this heel turn. We'll see what he can do. I'm sink or swim with a lot of people right now. Like either you go or you do something. Like pick. McKinney said that I messed up that I wanted to serve AJ to Roman. Listen, I'm just going under the impression WWE gives me. They don't want AJ to win. You put him in a tag team with Omos. You had them losing the teams they had no business losing to.
Agreed.
What am I supposed to think? Sunday Night Heat coming back. Braun is a star. Quit hating, Hub. Yeah, he's got faith.
Yeah, he sucks.
At one point, someone had a bet. I can't remember who it was. One of the big podcasts had a bet that Bron Breakker was going to main event in 3 years from when he debuted of WrestleMania. They said he would be main eventing. I don't know if I can see that happening, but it could. Wrestle Ops account is all about the likes and retweets. Bianca Belair has a great history worthy of Reign and love her dearly, but when are they going to pull the plug and have her drop the title? I would be interested in seeing a heel turn for Bianca.
That's what I want. Give us the heel turn before the fans turn on her.
Braun Breaker put him on WCW Pro. Wow.
You can train at the power plant.
With Sarge in the voice.
Yes.
Braun Breaker is a heel now. News to me because I don't watch NXT.
Yeah, news to me too because he's the same character he was before. A blithering idiot.
Sean, who would you call up from NXT? Doug would like to
know. Grayson Waller. I'd call up Carmelo Hayes with the belt, similar to the way that Kevin Owens was called up with the belt years ago with John Cena. And I would have called up Toxic Attraction, but unfortunately they broke up.
You got to be careful too, though. You don't want NXT. That might leave them with no star power if you take Carmelo right now.
I hear you. I'm just saying Carmelo deserves it.
Yeah. At least put him on Battle Dome. He said, "Y'all need to stop." Yo, that spear he hit Odyssey Jones with as a heel, he might be all right. OG mentor like Ziggler. I didn't see what he did to Odyssey Jones. Honestly, I can tell you I really have not watched NXT. I watched the pay-per-views, like the bigger shows, but for the most part, if there's something better for me to do on a Tuesday, we're doing something else.
Since when does being a low-budget Scott Steiner mean you're a star?
Listen, I've been watching some old WCW. That was another thing I did with the weekend. Scott Steiner doing promos is so bad, it's good.
Yes, I'm saying in what world is being a low budget Scott Steiner mean you're a star? He's not a carbon copy of his uncle. He's not even close.
Now watch, he's gonna get drafted and come out with the chains on his head. Holler if you hear me.
Yeah, yeah, please.
I got two names. This is a sink or swim one for me, Sean. You've had these two ladies. I think that Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. I hate when people have had two names. It's just I'm shaking my head right now. But these ladies are an excellent tag team, in my opinion. I don't agree with everything and how they're presented, but this is what I want from the women's tag team division. Put them together. They're a solid team and let them work. That's it. What do you know? Hey, heck of a play. You got something here.
She and Ricochet were a solid team too. You see how that worked out?
You brought up Grayson Waller before.
No, don't just blow. I said what I said, and I'm like, give me a break. Like, you listen. You lost to a better woman, and now you're gonna lose to a better wrestler.
Wow. Next up on Jack, Braun Breaker. Scott Steiner as Braun Breaker special counsel could be money. Oh, here we go. Now y'all getting disrespectful to the special show that they used to have for the international markets for WWE. Too many colors and patterns. Get these girls off.
He sucks, bro. Like, he sucks. Like, Braun Breaker is such a generic goofball version of his uncle. It's not even funny, bro.
Do you think that NXT 2.0 hindered him though? Like,
yes, it's not all Braun Breaker's fault, but we gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room. He's terrible, bro. He's so predictably obvious in his movements, his mannerisms, the dog barking. It's ridiculous, man. This is not 1995.
Always a fan of the dog bark. Grayson Waller.
I was a fan of it too on Nitro 20 years ago.
Grayson Waller. I like Grayson Waller. Do you know what I see for him? If I had the book, I'm putting Grayson Waller wherever the Miz goes. I think that would be a great way to, number one, save Miz's body, put them as a tag team, Miz and Grayson Waller. I think they would fit together, and Grayson Waller's, can I say this word, douchiness will come off right along with Miz. They just come off as people you don't like. Like, I want to punch them in the face. And it's what they're supposed to do. They do their jobs. They do them well.
Right. I mean, I see what you're saying. I agree.
What do you see for Waller, though? You said you liked him.
Yeah, I see him going to SmackDown. I think that's the best situation for him. Match him up with LA Knight. Match him up with some of these guys that, it was a sick burn. It was the truth, too. Like, she's not a good girlfriend or wrestler. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, give Grayson Waller a chance to kind of elevate himself into that Intercontinental United States range.
Right. Braun Breaker next live from WWE.
By the way, Ricochet's a freaking goof. So if Ricochet dumps you, you deserve to be dumped.
Wait, why do you say Ricochet's a goof?
He's a goof. Like he's a goof as far as like his man. Like he seems like he's a freaking nerd.
Yeah, I can see that, man. Boy can do some flips, though. I'll give you that. Braun Breaker's better than Mojo Rawley. Now, listen, I ain't gonna let you disparage my boy Mojo. Me and Mojo cool on a different level. So I gotta be kind about Mojo.
Well, I'm not cool with Mojo. Yeah, Mojo stunk. And at the end of the day, Braun Breaker is not that much better.
Chance and Carter are awesome. Give them a tag team name and immediately give them the tag team belts. Make the rest of the division elevate to them. Yeah. Grayson is not a fan. Grayson is Mizdow 2.0. Grayson Waller, Logan, and Jake Paul and Gronk in a stable. Gronk? Where did Gronk come from? Is he still in contract with WWE?
I don't think so.
Miz tag teams don't last long. I think this is the one though where you keep them around and where Miz says he picked him to come up. I picked you to be my tag partner.
Miz tag teams don't last long, just like his main event runs.
Moving on, a tag team that I really like, Pretty Deadly. I think these guys are great. I don't know how are you feeling about them, Sean?
They're they're good for what they're trying to portray. I think that they're funny. I think that they have talent. I think sometimes you can push that envelope too far, right? Like you got to make sure that you keep it level, keep it realistic, keep it not overly over the top, kind of like, you know what I'm talking about.
Comedy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it relatively middle of the road as it relates to the comedy gimmick, but bring them back down to earth and have them wrestle.
I just don't want them to fall the route of Breezango to where like in 4 weeks Vince is tired of them.
Exactly.
Like I don't understand why Vince kept great energy for Billy and Chuck, but then he didn't have that energy for Breezango. So to me, those are the two ways you could go with this.
So good to me.
That's a low-key banger. I ain't gonna front. Billy and Chuck had it. I was a big fan. Guys, I missed so much of the live episode. Had some unexpected things happen, but I'm here for the rest, and I'll comment on what I've missed. Hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate you,
man. Just want you to know Braun Breaker stinks.
Positively, he said Ricochet would be over if he had some hair. What? Some people can't rock the baldy. Yeah. You see how Shawn Spears is fighting it?
Yo. He'd be over if he had hair and the slightest bit of charisma.
I think it's the talking, but in the ring, he gets it done, though.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a lot of people that get it done in the ring. See, this is why.
No, you're right. But I'm saying he does have positive attributes to him, though. I don't want people to come away thinking Ricochet sucks.
He's a tremendous athlete, and so is Simone Biles. So is Michael Phelps.
Well, so if I had to put you and I'm like, how do we make Ricochet better? Would you give him a manager? What does he need?
I think Ricochet should have joined the Hurt Business 2 years ago.
Really?
Yes. He was on the verge of doing something that would have really helped his career. He should have joined the Hurt Business. In that moment, that would have been the best thing for him. He needs to be a heel. He's essentially what? He's essentially Braun Strowman's sidekick. Why I'm pissed off about Ricochet? Because I think Ricochet's an ultra talented guy. I think Ricochet should be a lot further in his career than he is. But Ricochet is not being put in positions to be. It's not Ricochet's fault. But it's like, it is what it is. That him going to the Hurt Business would have been perfect.
Yeah, listen, if you get exposed on the mic, you get exposed on the mic. I don't know what else to say. BJ brought up Prince Puma. He was the lead guy for Lucha Underground for a long time. Mm-hmm. That is true.
Again, I have a lot of respect for him. I just think that they made a mistake. Look, once again, right? Let's have some fun.
Hold on, I gotta correct E real quick. Sean is not the one you want to talk about Jacket Time with. Sean will rip Jacket Time apart. Sean is not a fan. He said, where was this over the top stuff when it was Jacket Time on TV Hub? Sean is not a fan. Go in the archives and find Sean talking about the bubble vest from Kushida.
Come on, bro. Don't do that. But what I was saying before about Ricochet, and again, we're going to have fun with this with my catchphrase, but like him joining the Hurt Business, that was a good idea. You know what that means? Bro, he was on the verge of doing something that would have helped him.
Why is the Hurt Business not allowed to be formed? Like, why do they keep fighting it?
Just to give you some more clarification, if you remember, back in the Thunderdome, he was on the verge of joining the Hurt Business, and he decided not to.
They should have did something with that, man. Like the Hurt Business could be back together again, and I don't know why we're fighting it.
The Hurt Business should be now. Look, I think that the ship has sailed. Let's talk about the Hurt Business for a second. Shout out to Quills, appreciate that. Let's talk about the Hurt Business for a second, Conrad. Let me throw something at you. Now, I think the ship has sailed on Shelton Benjamin. Respect him a whole lot. Love the guy, but that ship has sailed. I also think the ship has sailed on the other guy. Help me out?
Which one? Cedric?
Yeah. Right. Now you reform the Hurt Business with Omos, because I think the big guy in a situation like that would be beneficial. Obviously, MVP is the mouthpiece. Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and Ricochet.
And you have it built in when Carmelo's ready. Someone's getting the boot.
Oh my God! If you and I can come up with this stuff, why is it? If you and I can come up with this stuff on the freaking fly, how come WWE doesn't pick up on this stuff?
And if you wanted to add someone else who can already talk to for them, if MVP's not going to be around, Grayson Waller. He would fit in that group, I think, just fine, too. Put him in the black and gold. I think he would fit. You'd have to tell him to change his attitude, a little less goofiness. Mm-hmm. But I think you could tone him down, and he would be all right in it. I think he'll do just fine.
I'm on the fence about Grayson Waller, but the bottom line is the reformation of the Hurt Business with those guys we just talked about. How come we can pick up on this stuff right away, and WWE's management can't pick up on this stuff? Like, it's obvious, bro.
I couldn't tell you, bro. The Jacket Time entrance vid was a horrified image. I don't even remember what that was. Jacket Time was definitely a joke to someone, and they thought it was funny. And Kushida, the moment he heard that, Kushida's too decorated to even be playing these games. He knew he had to get up out of there immediately. He knew. Moving through the names, what do you think of Ilya Dragunov?
I think he should be Imperium.
Really? You think he should join Walter instead of go? Yo, did you see their matches?
I think
mortified.
I think that's the perfect reason for him to join up with him.
Mortified.
You remember two mortal enemies by the name of Mick Foley and Dwayne Johnson? How cool is it? Now, obviously, it's a different situation, but how cool is it when they came together? You bring those mortal enemies together and put him in the folded Imperium. That's money right there. Money.
It could be good. I like Ilya a lot. I think he has a lot to offer. Let him rock. Here's a name that I think is a sleeper name that people haven't been mentioning. My boy, Cameron Grimes, to the moon. That's my dog right there. I don't know why I love him so much, but that gimmick of him doing the stocks and he became rich, it was great. It was great. What do you envision for him? You got ideas, a show you like him on, a person you like to match him up with? Because I feel like at this point, we're not even putting them on shows. We're just like, this is what I want you to do. Wherever they go, this is where you go.
I think he stays put, honestly. And I don't mean that as a diss. I think Cameron Grimes is very talented. I just don't know where he would fit on the main roster right at this very moment.
It's going to be tough, and you're going to have to push them. The problem is that a lot of these guys, so E just mentioned they disrespected Shelton and Cedric in 2020, buried the Clique buried like the Clique and Shane, like they did Shane Douglas. But those dudes, a lot of those dudes who you don't see on TV, they're in trouble right now. Mm-hmm. Especially if they're looking to cut people and do stuff. It ain't looking too good for you.
By the way, you're about to come up on some comments that are exactly what I was thinking, and it's the truth. By the way, some hardcore stuff.
Gomar says WWE doesn't pick up on it because they're good ideas, and you know what that means.
Yes, sir. I love that, Gomar, but I'm talking about this right here, and it's hitting the nail right on the head.
McKinney says there's too much melanin in one camera frame.
Come on, man. See, that's why I love our people that come to our show, because they tell the truth. That's exactly what it is, Conrad. Let's just talk about the
no. And I want people to start mentioning us when we talk about top Black wrestling podcasts, Clash of the Podcast, Everything Pro Wrestling, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. They need to be mentioned in the conversation with that, because I think
for the culture and for pro wrestling.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit, though. I said it. Like, I think it's complete garbage how they treat some of the wrestlers in the company. And like you said, what is up with Lashley? Like, you have not even made amends for what happened at WrestleMania. Bro, how mad would you be if you had to carry that stupid Andre the Giant trophy around? And I mean that respectfully to Andre. I know what he meant to the business.
You're not saying anything against the trophy, no.
Or Andre, you
right?
Mean.
Yeah,
the trophy. Like, he's got to come out through this big stupid trophy and act like it means something to him. A trophy means nothing to anybody because nothing's ever happened with someone who won it. So what does it really mean? This is no different than Bret Hart and Bad News Brown.
And don't get me started. I'm not going to get started, but I'm going to throw it out there again for the 1,000th time for the people in the back. Kofi Kingston losing to Brock in 4 seconds, 9 seconds, whatever it was. Never got a rematch, never got his retribution. The situation with Bobby Lashley more recently, Hurt Business being buried. The last time, you know what? The last time we've had a successful African-American group in pro wrestling, the New Day before the New Day, wasn't it like the Nation? I can't think of anybody else.
I can't think of anybody to where... Well, Owen was in the Nation. I was gonna say, yeah, I would say that's probably it. Unless you go with Harlem Heat, maybe Harlem Heat.
Maybe Harlem Heat. But the bottom line is the Hurt business has a lot of potential. And you know what the sad part is, Conrad? I know I'm preaching to the choir. It still does. They can pull the trigger on it right now.
Wow.
Oh no. Okay. Wow. They can pull the trigger on the Hurt business right now. Again, Omos is in place. MVP is in place. Lashley is in place. What's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is, and it looks a lot like me.
We mentioned it when we went back to the Sasha Naomi stuff too. That's the one missing factor. Look at how Charlotte and
going on here, man.
We mentioned it too with Charlotte and Becky. Look at what they're doing. Blacking out Twitter, taking time off, but I don't see anybody pushing Bayley up the card.
It's ridiculous.
Bayley just stays where she is all the time. It's just got to be frustrating. McKinney mentioned that crypto lotto. Ooh. What do you think? Grimes with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's got bread. He's got bread. Maybe.
Actually, that's actually a good idea. I didn't think of that. That's pretty good, McKinney.
I miss broke Corbin a little bit though, because I feel bad for him. I think he's really talented, but the main roster never did him correctly.
Yes, Corbin had potential, and they're blowing it.
Motor Torque Wrestling. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome.
I see Sasha Banks and Naomi debuting after Forbidden Door. Naomi versus Athena at the next ROH pay-per-view, and Sasha Banks debuts at AEW Collision or Wembley versus Hayter.
We have said that would be the biggest thing in wrestling if she got to that show in Wembley. Let's do it.
By the way, I just have to let y'all know her gear was super fire. Amazing. That Black Tiger tribute. Shout out to Eddie. The person who made her gear made Rey Mysterio's gear. So you know she paid a pretty penny for that. And we will see her at New Japan Strong Resurgence Sunday, May 21st, Walter Pyramid, Long Beach, California. Tickets on sale now for those West Coast folks.
Let's go.
New Japan, send me something. Send me a shirt.
Let's do it. Come on. Sign us up. Yo, give us a thumbs up or some kind of positive emoji if you think that Conrad and myself should be signed to a major promotion.
Help us out.
Please.
What do you mean Bad News and Brett? Oh, so that was in regards to the trophy. Bad News, what was that? A battle royal at WrestleMania 4?
Yes.
I'm testing my brain here.
Yes.
Yeah. So Bad News cheated to win the trophy and Brett busted the trophy. And I was like, what does any of this mean? What does it mean? Bret Hart was a tag team wrestler fighting Bad News Brown. What does this mean? I think it was their way to pacify Bad News because anything they promised him never came to fruition, really.
Not at all. Not even close.
And that's why he bounced and went back to Japan, I believe. I can't remember what Kenny King, MVP, and Lashley were called in Impact. Oh, my goodness. What was the name of that group?
Underutilized.
Beatdown Clan. Underutilized.
The truth. I love those guys. Underutilized should have been their name.
He said Owen Hart is honorary. He put the fist up. In WWE, if it ain't right, here we go.
It's the truth, man.
Hey, no, listen, I'm not mad. Why 2K put Bum Corbin in the game? They have something in there for him. That picture with the Hurt Business with all the gold belts and they got disbanded 2 weeks later. Look back at the timeline. Vince really don't like us for real, for real. I won't say that. I think Vince's problem in pro wrestling is he likes a certain body type. He likes certain people. He likes Lashley. Trust me. Lashley wouldn't be having these belts if he didn't like Lashley. He loved Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson was going to, you know what Ahmed's problem was? He was hanging around during the wrong time and he didn't know better because he was hanging around. Calling my shots, do. Stop doing cool moves, make me look bad. Sean shut all that down, and Ahmed just didn't know better. And Ron Simmons was trying to teach him. He's like, "Yo, you could have all this. Will you stop?" And he never listened.
People forget that Ahmed Johnson got hurt. Ahmed Johnson was about to challenge The Undertaker for the title at King of the Ring 97, and he was going to win.
Yeah.
That was the rumor. Now, Farouk ended up being the challenger. Little note for you, Conrad. King of the Ring 97, Farouk was the backup plan when Ahmed got hurt, right?
Ahmed was still there.
No, Ahmed was hurt. No, not King of the Ring. I'm sorry. I apologize. Not King of the Ring.
You know how I knew that? Because it had my favorite promo of all time.
Right.
You don't need to be worried about Paul Bear's blackmail. You need to be worried about this blackmail because I'm winning the WWF Championship tonight. One of my favorite.
It was the following pay-per-view, excuse me, after he joined the Nation. And then he got hurt. And then it went away.
Right. We still got people coming here CM Punk backstage at Raw. You got people get ready to watch the show. Motor Torque Wrestler said, no, I don't know what that was in regard to. New Japan Pyramid shows usually rock. That trophy was Brett's way of saying, I'm walking here. He broke that trophy. He smashed it to smithereens. I love Brett for that, though. If they got mustard on the shirt with Baron Corbin, I thought Ahmed's problem was he was injury prone. I don't like saying that about people, though. Like, what's injury prone? How many times? When's it? True. I mean, he got the one time Farouk did jive, like body him with a kick. That was pretty bad. Vince loves R-Truth as well. Look at what happened to him. He's WWE's village idiot. But I don't like.
Sure, you like him because he shucks and jives all the time. He loves a dancer. He loves a black man that'll get. Don't get me started. Oh my God, don't get me started.
Yeah, some of the gimmicks are pretty bad. Jocelyn had a good take in here too, but I don't want to put it up just because I don't want any trouble with the YouTube peeps. Moving on.
But you know what? And let's just bring it. This is not about this. Just to kind of bring it home because we have serious subjects that come up like this. Conrad and I have bills to pay, so we're not going to go too far with it. But we recognize the improprieties that go on in pro wrestling as it relates to African Americans, and it's one of those things where we just have to try and hope for better. You know what I'm saying?
I think it has gotten better. It's just not to the point to where I'm good with it.
It has, but not good enough. Because the situation with Sasha and Naomi, that would have been a lot different. It was Becky and Charlotte, like you said. If Becky and Lita walked out, this is bullcrap. We're not doing this. They would have figured it out, and they would be back.
Same thing with Lesnar. Lesnar beating the New Day quickly like that, like they were jabrones. Why'd you give them the belts then?
But it is.
I don't know. I cannot even remember this young lady's name right now. Someone in the chat help me out. What is her name now? It is slipping my mind.
And it's going to slip the minds of whoever's going to be drafting, too.
Oh, that's foul, but true, but foul, but true.
You ever see, now here's put me back on camera, bro. So you ever see somebody who is kind of famous, but you can't, that she's snap famous. She's like, you ever seen the Kevin Hart skit? She's snap famous. It's like, oh, you know who you are? She's snap famous. She's like, oh yeah, that's the right. That's you work for that's what she is. She's snap famous.
I am looking right now to see because her name just slipped my mind. And Zoe Starks. Thank you.
No, don't thank me. Shout out to Quills and shout out to McKinney because I didn't know what it is. Shout out to ML. I didn't know what her name was.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie. We've said
she's that famous. Oh, you work for. Yeah, I know you.
I've seen her wrestle. She's a solid wrestler, but I don't.
But you didn't remember her name, and that speaks volumes. You know what I think we should do? We should move on to the next person.
Hope you get drafted somewhere, kid.
Yeah.
I got Hit Row on here. Now listen, we've been doing a lot of taking from NXT. And please don't get mad at me. Hit Row, you're my people. You going back to NXT. They gotta. If you want to salvage them, that's where they gotta go. B-Fab needs time in the ring. Top Dollar, they make fun of him. What's he supposed to do with that? What are they supposed to do? I think they need to go back to NXT where they can tweak and work with that gimmick some more. What do you think? Or is it?
Yeah, I think that he did a great job, Top Dollar, of changing the narrative of that ridiculous over-the-top situation by losing the weight. He really took his weight loss to a new level after that situation. And that somewhat has changed the narrative. You're right. It is a dark cloud over their head. And you're right. Maybe going back to NXT might be a good look. But then again, maybe just tweaking their characters might be a good look as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if a switch back down to NXT would be the best thing. It wouldn't hurt them. But as far as elevating them, we need the move should elevate them. And I don't know. And honestly, I hate to say this because I love them. I don't know any move that would elevate them at this point. Like, I don't know what could be done.
I would like for them to change the attire, especially for Top Dollar. I think that he can't come out there looking like he's got like an iron on or anything like that. And the Street Profits already have similar attire. He needs to switch it up completely. I don't know if he would be willing to wrestle in jeans. I don't know if they can find him those John Moxley jeans where they're like the
stretchy kind.
Yeah, the stretchy kind. You got to give them something. You got to give them a new look, a new feeling. The rap videos, I think Top Dollar's raps are good. I have no issues with that. B-Fab, another excellent MC when she wants to get on the mic. But we gotta, and I know that their partner, he's the wrestling moves. He's the one who I think is solid in the ring. He's not the problem with that. He needs the personality that they have, and they're trying to mix them together like this will all work. But we gotta do something.
Hit Row needs something that they can't have right now.
But Sean, I have a bad fear.
You know what I'm talking about. Hit Row needs a person they can't have. Hit Row. What's missing in Hit Row is over in AEW.
Oh yeah, Swerve was the glue. Yeah. He was so great.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that they should be fearful of what's coming up. We keep talking about those budget cuts. It's gonna hit the talent roster too. If they got cut once before,
well, I think
them from doing it again.
For that, and I'm sad to say it because, like I said, I like Hit Row a lot, but Hit Row should have been thinking about that ever since Vince came back because Vince was the one who fired him in the first place.
Yeah, somebody's got to make the choices, right? I F's with NXT because it's fun and unpredictable. Okay, listen, it's not for me. I wasn't enjoying it. Maybe I should try to watch it again. If someone tells me it's getting really, really good, I'll try it out again. Hit Row will be drafted to their future. Whoa, dang. Throwing up the peace sign. Hit Row needs to be utilized somewhere where they are money ready to be made. Rap battle Top Dollar versus Max Caster.
Yeah, I like that, but eventually you'd have to end up in the ring, and then what's going to happen?
Yeah. He looks like a complete bum, out of shape. At least tailor the gear to look good. I kind of listen. I'm not gonna say he's a bum, but he did get in pretty good shape. But the issue is, I don't like how the gear looks on him. It just doesn't look like.
It looks like Kmart. It looks like Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. Like, I want him to pop. I want him to stand out. So you got to give him something good. Top Dollar's problem wasn't his weight. It's his in-ring ability. Six says they are too green and lost the glue when Swerve got the boot. Yeah. Yeah, they made a big mistake, in my opinion. And lastly, Asuka. What do you do with Asuka? Because I feel like she's stuck. You gave her a new gimmick, but where's she been?
WrestleMania was a big deal. I thought that would be kind of her coming out party by winning the title, taking the title off of somebody who probably can be considered one of the longest reigning champions in women's history. I think that you just switch her just because. Like, just get her away from Raw just because, get her on SmackDown, and restart the streak. That's what I think. I think you should restart the streak.
Build her up to face Rhea in a big-time match, maybe by SummerSlam.
Yes.
Survivor Series, something. Give Asuka something to do is my main thing, because you don't know how much longer you've got her. Those are our thoughts on the draft. I know you guys are putting your stuff in there. Asuka's going to get drafted to SmackDown 6.
Get Asuka a mouthpiece too.
Asuka needs a heel turn and wreck the division. Yeah, don't change her gimmick and then have her doing the same thing she was doing before. Now, coming up, we've got Backlash on May 6th. It's going to be happening in Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny is the host. We had a great match announced last week. Sean, you were excited about it? Omos versus Seth Rollins. What do you think of the story for this one?
I think that's a damn shame. I think that's atrocious. I think that's a slap in the face. And Seth Rollins, and I think Omos has talent. I think Omos, that's why the Hurt Business is so important. I think him being like an enforcer in the Hurt Business would be great. But as he's currently constituted, his current character, Seth Rollins should be sick to his stomach right now.
I don't get it, dude.
I don't get it either.
I don't understand. And how come Omos is not on TV for weeks and then all of a sudden he just pops back up like, hey, how you doing?
And where did this match even come from?
I just saw it flash on the screen and I put I wrote something on Twitter and a bunch of people liked it and commented. I was just like, yo, I don't know what they're doing here.
Neither do I. And Seth Rollins, I've always said, is the second best wrestler in the whole company. And they're disrespecting him.
Bro, you know what I've said. They've told you how they feel about him. I'm trying to get him out of this.
Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yes, they're telling you that. Not even that, bro. They really treat him like he's mid-card because you can't keep him like you could keep Macho Man elevated.
You said Macho Man was always going to be 1A to Hogan, right? And we agree on that. So you're saying Seth is 1A to Roman.
If they have a choice between Seth and Roman, they're choosing Roman every time.
I hear that.
And it sucks. I think it's something he doesn't want to accept. It felt like Punk and Cena. Punk knew he was always going to be the guy next to Cena. He was never going to be above him. It sucks. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
If I were Seth, I would be ready to go.
You would hope so. Let me see here. Hold on. People are still talking about Top. Wait, back to Top Dollar. He definitely dresses like we did when Master P and No Limit was on top back in 97.
Nah.
Seth versus Omos. What? From Logan Paul to Omos? Seth is going to end up getting fed up and leaving next. His treatment is disgusting.
That's what I just said, Quills. I agree.
He wrote to me. He's told me this. He thought it was fake.
I don't blame you for thinking it was fake. That's how sad it is.
It's just crazy. Give me Rollins Omega. It ain't happening. It ain't happening unless Seth wants to wake up and see how they treat him. And I thought that was one of the reasons why Becky kind of was upset. I think she didn't like the treatment that he was getting.
Agreed. That's her husband.
Let's get to the next most random matchup here.
Oh my.
Why is Lashley in theory back in triple threats? Shout out to that John Cena match. Really helped elevate him.
To nothing.
Yeah. And then that Andre the Giant trophy winner. And I think they put Theory in here because it was supposed to be Lashley and I almost called him Jonah Rock. Bronson Reed. I think that match, they didn't like how it looked, where it was a little out of breath, little double DQ, double count out, all that stuff. They can go through all the motions, but I think Theory's here to kind of glue it, keep it together, allow some rest breaks in between. You got any words for this? I mean, I know we're going to talk about this next week, but
I mean, Backlash is looking really weak. I mean, obviously, Cody versus Brock is going to be a good match. It came together ridiculously, but Brock and Cody and the Usos with Solo against Riddle. And by the way, I don't even like Riddle for that situation either. Riddle's corny to me, but we'll get into that next week.
Here, yeah, like they've had the same ending like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Why would I want to see this?
I mean, and speaking of draft, like I would split up the Usos immediately, or split up the Usos from Roman. I would have the Usos on Raw and Roman on SmackDown. That's what I would do.
I don't know. See, I don't know how I feel about that because the bloodline is what keeps the title on him at all times. But maybe you could split them. Maybe you could have Heyman say Roman said that he would trade.
No,
They think they're on the same.
No, what I'm thinking is a lot more simplistic, bro. I'm thinking that the Usos are going to win back the tag titles and then show up on both shows.
And then they're like, "Hey, what's up, cuz? We're back." And then Roman's kind of like, "Yeah, I don't want you here," kind of deal. Interesting.
That's a good idea, but you know what that means.
Interesting. We got this one too.
Very predictable for the location.
No, a title shot because we're in Puerto Rico.
Very predictable because of the location of the pay-per-view.
What up, D? Let's see here. We'll be watching UFC 288 instead of Backlash. Strong UFC pay-per-view. Punk started wearing Macho Man stars and hitting that elbow drop. LOL, tongue in cheek. AF as if he took it in stride. It's Austin Theory. Who cares? Wait until they split the world title and Seth and anyone we feel deserves better won't get it. Yeah.
That's you're probably right.
Heyman organized for a trade for the Usos to Raw if they lose on Friday. Could do that. The bottom line of this card is Cody should have won at Mania, and because he didn't, we don't have a shot of much new energy. So this is what we're getting. And WWE has lost out on signings. How is Impact beating you to signing people?
Good point.
Nick Aldis is with Impact. Jay White went to AEW. Commander went to AEW. And maybe they're not hiring people right now. Maybe there's a little freeze going on or whatever, but
WWE is not the destination that it once was, bro. I mean, from money standpoint, yeah, everybody's going to want to go. But from a creative standpoint, if the money is at least somewhat the same, maybe $1 million less, maybe $500,000 less, I would go to a place where I would be creatively taken care of instead of just taken care of financially.
Yeah, but you would hope, like,
bro, not to cut you off, WWE, specifically Vince McMahon, doesn't get it, man. They don't get it.
But Sean, at what point, like, with this new company, are you going to try to get people? Or are we just here to, like, make as much money as possible? Because I would never sign anybody then either.
You know whose fault it is? It's not even Vince's fault as much as it really is his fault. It's the fans. It's us. If we stop watching, things would get better. But we love wrestling so much and we keep hoping.
It doesn't. I don't watch NXT.
Well, I don't watch NXT, but I watch Raw. And by the way, let me be clear. Just to everybody out there, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I watch Raw and SmackDown on DVR the following day. Like when I come home from work on Tuesday, I watch Raw. When I come home when I'm out on Friday night or going out with my girl on Friday night, Saturday morning, I watch SmackDown. I don't watch any of these shows live.
Right. And it just doesn't matter at this point. If you told me that there was something better to do tonight and I could leave out the house, I would probably consider doing it.
Of course you would. And I wouldn't
Rob, you're stupid.
And by the way, just to kind of piggyback off of your point, Conrad, I don't have anything better to do tonight other than watch the NBA. I'd rather watch the NBA playoffs than watch Monday Night Raw.
But that's the level I'm taking it to. If someone offered me to go out and play basketball, I would do it before watching Raw right away. What am I in a rush to watch? Those names are professional wrestlers, not sports entertainers. They made the right choices easily. Nick Aldis, Commander, and Jay White. He ain't wrong. Like Aretha said, Taylor Swift had beautiful gowns. Backlash and PR is a beautiful locale.
This is true.
Commander is a one-trick pony. Aldis is a hole behind the curtain, in my opinion. Now Jay White was a miss, but you can't win them all, especially with Vince in the picture. Aldis is interesting. I think Aldis has a lot of insight to offer. Like I said, with top guys, you got to know who you're dealing with too.
That's a fact.
Commander is a one-trick pony. I wouldn't say that for Commander. I think he got showcased better in that Jay White match than Jay White did a little bit. But Jay White's a heel. He knows what he's doing. He's hated because he comes out and wins the match. So what do you guys want to talk about? 20-minute intro. Yeah, that line's getting old too.
Yep.
Nobody wants to really hear it anymore.
All we want to talk about is you losing at WrestleMania and going right back down to the... Let me tell you something. Don't expect Cody to win the title. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all think it's going to end at SummerSlam. Y'all need to stop thinking that way, bro. I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about Roman Reigns being champion all the way up until Philadelphia next year.
Man, New Japan, AJPW, Noah, all together again June 9th. Yeah, they got themselves a little United show as well. Looking forward to that. Lots of good wrestling to come up. Sean, you working on anything this week that we can tell the fine folks about here?
Absolutely not, bro. I'm taking the week off after a massive week with the Tank and Garcia fight. I will be back here with you next week. I do have a couple of new episodes of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly coming out in the next couple of weeks, but most of my energy is focused on Clash of the Podcast right now and writing brand new articles and content, boxing updated stuff on the website. So make sure you check out for new updates for that, and make sure you subscribe to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly YouTube channel.
Big money, big ducats. We're getting pretty close to flipping that number over here. So tell a friend, man. Put out everything pro wrestling. Put our names down. You see those? Who's the best YouTube creator? Put us down. Put Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Put EPW down. Who's the best? Canyon. Put us down.
Who better than no? But real talk though. On a serious note, to all the people watching and listening right now, Conrad and I have realistic expectations about what our future in this business holds. But that all is depending on you guys. So we're working hard. We're doing our thing. Will we get signed? Who knows? We've got a lot of love. We're starting, like Conrad said, that money button's about to turn over for us, but we are still being true to ourselves, man. Black men who love wrestling, human beings who love wrestling, and we love you guys for showing us love, man. So keep it coming, and let's continue having fun.
Right? How many times you want to see dude walk the ropes all day? It take all day to do it. Hey, listen. Man, tightrope walks ain't no joke. I ain't trying to do it.
And get your Macho Man and Elizabeth shirt from my merch store, please. This is original creation. Please, WrestleMania 4. We didn't put WrestleMania 4 on the shirt because of legal reasons, but we did put March 27th, 1988, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Miss Elizabeth and Macho win their first world title. Get your Macho Man and Elizabeth shirt. Hubbard Wrestling Weekly.
He rocks with them. B-Boy put GG in the chat. Much appreciated. Commander. I like Commander and Grand Metalik as a tag team. Actually, a lot. I don't know if he would want to do that, but I think that would be great for them. Like Taker ain't do it every match. Man. Listen. Don't get us started.
We'll be back. Make sure you listen to Conrad and Derek every Wednesday night on the EPW YouTube channel for every week's AEW Dynamite review. They are really growing their audience, and rightfully so. Make sure you show them love. I'm trying to think any more programming announcements. No, I might have some more stuff for you next week, but that's it for now.
Yeah, we'll come back next week. Hopefully we'll have something good to talk about from this Raw show. We'll see. But listen, for myself, the tag team partner, Sean Hubbard, chat, we love you. We appreciate you. And we are out. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Clash of the Podcast.